Hey, this is Sully for Antisocial News Body Count Report for Friday the 13th. That's October the 13th, 2017, which is a Friday. And, of course, we have all the stigmas attached to Friday the 13th today. Uh, Very interesting world news. A lot of follow-ups to uh, Thursday's stories about UNESCO and some talk from multiple sides about the Iran deal. So I'm very, very proud to bring that to you. And we are going to start in Israel with the Palestinian territory having a bizarre. This is a bizarre story that's come out this week about Hamas and Fatah getting back together. And to be honest, I didn't realize those organizations didn't get along, but apparently they do. Or now they get along, and it's a tentative agreement. Um, People release pigeons to show their support of peace. I think those are supposed to be doves. I don't know about pigeons. Doves are normally the ones you. Anyway, as everybody knows, the situation in the Holy Land there is always life or death, uh, because rhetoric often turns violent, especially the Palestinian BDS rhetoric. And um, these are two organizations not necessarily friendly to Israel and very pro violent rhetoric. So I'm curious to see if this could possibly encourage peace in the region. Israel has reiterated that no peace between anyone is really going to maintain until the terrorist organization Hamas is fully disarmed. So, moving on, and we will be touching back to Israel um, at the end of this to talk about the Iran deal and the Middle East perspective on it. Um, let's go to Manila Times, where everyone in the West's favorite terrorist organization in the Philippines, the Abu Sayyaf group, who everyone thinks is this big ISIS-connected group, which is actually a few guys in a boat kidnapping uh, marine construction workers and fishermen, uh, and referred to as bandits by the news in the Philippines, because that's what they are. They're just basically just low life pirates. Many of them have been arrested recently or shot in scuffles with the armed forces of the Philippines and subordinate militias in the area. And one of the ASG bandits is clarifying. Sobayana has talked to reporters and explained that there is a vacuum of power in the Abu Sayyaf leadership, which is because they've been being chased around by task force, and like I said, locals. And they also realized, this is my favorite part of the story, they also realized that beheading among their kidnapped victims is un-Islamic, which is very nice. I like seeing that the Moro Islamic Liberation Front and other Muslims in the area have a concerted effort to push towards moderate behavior and anti-jihad or anti-violent jihad rhetoric. So good story there. Glad to see ASG bandits getting arrested, or better yet, surrender to authorities. So wonderful. Here we go. More terrorism news from around the world. Troops rescue 6-year-old boy from Boko Haram. We have Nigeria here taking Boko Haram seriously after years of letting Boko Haram run amok, with Good Luck Jonathan basically seeing them as a political issue instead of terrorists. Which, yeah, I'm I'm very glad to see Buhari is taking this seriously, and that Boko Haram is taking losses over their incursion on civilian areas. So good job, Nigeria. And we are going to continue on. This is a story from yesterday. I covered that in the last. This I feel a misdirected Washington Times article. You can see that in yesterday's body count report. We are going to move on to the Middle East and world reaction to President Donald Trump of the United States taking a critical eye to the Iran nuclear deal, which was kind of not to bias my statements on this, but kind of a very one-sided deal that gave Iran all the oversight authority in the subject of their nuclear proliferation, and they have violated the aggressive side of the deal several times since then, making violent statements against Israel, doing ballistic missile testing, and this is sort of the first time that that America has challenged the deal officially. So read the Irish Times, which, as I've pointed out, Irish Times is so far removed from the Middle East situation that they quoted Ayatollah Khomeini as a an unbiased voice in the Muslim world regarding the Rohingya crisis. So that's how neutral the Irish Times are on the subject of the Middle East and the Islamic world. So Irish Times is something to check out, and of course more of a local perspective. Let's go to Times of Israel to see how they voices within Israel are looking at the U.S.'s views on the subject of the Iran nuclear deal. It's an ever-evolving story. There is a lot of people saying that the deal is important. I'll also include a link or two from Ynet News, which is a very authentic Israeli news outreach to the world online. Good reporting from them. A look at Iran's Revolutionary Guard, a link included here. Khamenei controls the military there, and the IRGC, or the Naruy Inqilab, are vicious fighting force. We've actually seen them do successful, powerful campaigns against our common enemy, ISIS, and a lot of military people around the world have gained respect for them. But we should always keep in perspective, these are not our allies globally, and they definitely have been making violent and throw some opinion there, vile threats against our ally Israel, especially like this right here, reported in Times of Israel. A missile launched from the Al-Borz Mountains in Iran on March 9th, 2016, reportedly inscribed in Hebrew, "Israel must be wiped out," from Fars News. Yeah, that's bad. And if that doesn't violate the Iran nuclear deal, what would? Because that's pretty bad. That's a pretty bad thing they're doing there. All right. Well, check out the body count report link list in the description of this video for Friday the 13th. And may I just say, for all those people into triskaidekaphobia lore. Non nobis domine, non nobis sed nomine tuo ad gloriam. This is Sully for Antisocial News. Have a great rest of your weekend, and everyone stay safe out there. Also, our prayers are with the people in California and out west who are dealing with the fires. I'll do an update on that for the Monday body count report, and I shall see you then.